Yes, we can wonder why all societies we know about, and not only modern societies, not only American culture, not only European countries, but all societies we know about have dramatically disturbed the birth process. And they have done that mostly with beliefs and rituals. Many other ways, for example, briefly, just genital mutilations, are widely practiced in some part of Africa. The effect is a scar, which makes the birth more difficult. A midwife originally was just somebody like the mother. And when you feel the mother is not far away, you feel more secure. But often she became an authoritarian guide. That's a way to make the birth more difficult. But the important point is to realize how societies have disturbed the birth process for thousands of years, mostly with beliefs and rituals. I'll just give some examples. If you transmit the simple belief that the colostrum is bad, we have to recall that the colostrum is what the baby can find in the breast immediately after birth. According to modern sciences, it's a precious substance. Most societies have claimed that it's dangerous. It's like pus, it's dangerous. So it means that when baby is born, baby must not be in the arms of the mother. Baby must be in the arms of somebody else. And for that you need a ritual, which is a widespread ritual, which is to rush to cut the cord. So this is a subtle way to disturb what we call today the third stage of labor. I might give many other examples, but there are so many of them, thousands of examples. The conclusion is that today, if you want to rediscover the basic need of human labor, we cannot rely on any cultural model. That's why we need the perspective of physiologists, scientists who study the body functions. They study what is universal, what is cross-cultural. When we speak like physiologists, you say the same, exactly the same, in Tokyo or in London. It's all the same. What is physiological can be presented as a sort of reference point from which we try not to deviate too much. So we don't have any cultural model, but at the same time, this can inspire some questions. How to explain that all societies have dramatically disturbed the way babies are born, and particularly this phase of labor between the birth of the baby and the delivery of the placenta, an important phase when the mother is supposed to release a peak of love hormone, a short period of time which is vital for the delivery of the placenta, a safe delivery of the placenta, that is to say, the survival of the mother. If the mother is bleeding, she can die. A phase of labor we can present as the critical in the development of the capacity to love. How to explain that all societies we know about find tricks to make this phase more difficult. In spite of the cost of all these beliefs and all these rituals, the cost of all the beliefs, all the rituals, whose effect is to disturb the first contact between mother and baby and the delivery of the placenta, the cost is enormous in terms of bleeding and in terms of maternal death. There are still 500,000 maternal deaths a year in the world, and many of them are related to bleeding because we disturb a short period of time. So how to explain that? To explain these tendencies all societies we know about had to disturb the birth process, we must recall that all these cultural milieus share roughly the same strategies for survival. It's always dominating nature and for a human group dominating another human group. A civilization always tries to dominate another civilization and to eliminate it and so on and so on. It has been an advantage until now to develop the human potential for aggression. Successful societies are those who have transmitted different beliefs and rituals whose effect is to moderate the capacity to love, including love of nature, and have develop the human potential for aggression. These are the successful society. So we can explain the evolutionary advantages of disturbing the birth process. But today, there is something new. We are learning that there are limits to the domination of nature. We realize that we have to create a sort of unity of the planetary village. So that suddenly we have to raise new questions. For example, how to develop the respect for Mother Earth, facet of love. So humanity today has to invent new strategy for survival, radically new strategy for survival. And for that, what we'll need probably in the future is much more the energies of love. It means that all these beliefs, all these rituals, all these different ways to disturb the birth process are losing their evolutionary advantages. It means that it's urgent, in spite of the safety of the caesarean section, it's urgent to rediscover the basic need of women in labor and of the newborn baby. And for that, we have to rely on the perspective of the physiologists, those who study the body function. It shows that today, in the context of modern, large department of obstetrics, most caesarean sections, in fact, are necessary. Women need caesarean section because they are not in the right environment and because we have forgotten the basic need of women in labor. One of a symptom of a lack of understanding of birth physiology, of the basic need of women in labor, is that when there are still midwives, midwife just cannot play the original role of a mother figure. Midwife today is just a member of a medical team. So women cannot give birth easily. They need intervention, drugs and caesarean section. It means also that today, when the public health organizations look at statistics and look at the rate of caesarean section, which are climbing, it means also that the point is not to say we must reduce the rate of caesarean section. Even that can be dangerous. We can also already observe that when the primary objective is to reduce the rate of caesarean section, the first visible effect is that there are more and more difficult births by the vaginal route. People try everything to avoid a caesarean section. So finally, babies are born after long labor, many drugs, trying a ventouse or a forceps. That's what is dangerous. That's what we should avoid in the age of the safe caesarean section. We should avoid very difficult birth by the vaginal route. So the point is not to say we must reduce the rate of caesarean section. The point is first to rediscover the basic need of women in labor, and the rest will follow.